Welcome back. The people of Senegal will go to the polls in February to elect a new president. But barely a week before Senegal's Constitutional Council sets to consider the legality of President Abdoulaye Wade's bid to seek re-election for the third time, the political temperature is shooting to dangerous levels. The Catholic Church there is meanwhile calling for calm ahead of the elections. Let's look at this report for more on how things are shaping up in Senegal in the lead up to the race between at least 20 aspirants in this report.
By the Secretary of Senegal's Episcopal Conference comes 1 week before the country's Constitutional Council is to decide on the validity of President Abdoulaye Wade's bid to run for another term. Senegal's bishops are calling for the constitution to be respected both in spirit and in letter.
The bishops are calling on citizens to respect the Constitution, especially those whose duty it is to respond or to interpret the law. That, in the end, is what is needed if this country is to be at peace.
Some 20 candidates are vying for the presidency. They've either declared their candidacy themselves or were selected by their parties. The candidates include a number of Wade's former prime ministers, now in the opposition. With the election only weeks away, the political climate here is heavy and ominous. The Senegalese Church fears unforeseen events and is calling on the candidates and the population to abide by democratic principles.
This election is important, and the reason the Church is implicated is to contribute to peace in this country. That is our only objective, and it deserves the sacrifices that are needed.
In their appeal, which was published Friday in the Dakar Press, Senegal's bishops also state that nothing will get done unless peace is brought to Casamance, Senegal's southern province that has been involved in an armed conflict for the past 3 decades.
Well, dealers in locally fabricated TV antennas in Congo, Brazzaville are cashing in on the hype generated by the African Cup of Nations, which kicks off on Saturday in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. Congo did not qualify for the 16-nation tournament, but football fans there are hoping to follow the action on television. We have more on the stiff competition between the locally made antennas and those fabricated in China.
Kickoff and fans in Congo's port city Pointe-Noire are ready and waiting. A flourishing television antenna business has taken off. Olga is very satisfied with her TV antenna made in Congo.
There are lots of channels, DRTV, Télé-Congo, Télé-Pointe-Noire, and even some Cameroonian channels.
The young do-it-yourself go-getters in Pointe-Noire who have a flair for business opportunity are turning out antennas at a fast rate. They are made on the streets and sold on the streets.
Business is good. People are buying them up. I repair shoes, but since I know the guys who make these antennas, they hooked me in to sell them.
Salesmen like Yannick install antennas. This house is equipped and now it can receive foreign international television and fans can follow the whole African Nations Cup competition.
How many antennas do you sell in a day?
I can sell 15 or 16 on a good day.
How much does it cost?
€5.
A lot of happy clients are sure they've made a good investment.
The signal is very good, better than my old antenna where there was no signal in the bedroom. The picture was blurred. Now I'm happy I have a new antenna.
These antennas are better and cheaper than Chinese antennas, which is a bit of consolation for the Congolese, whose team was not selected to compete in the CAN competition.
Interesting. Well, time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports. Welcome back. The female Scorpions of the Gambia will lock hands with their Sierra Leonean counterparts on Saturday, the 21st of January at the Independence Stadium. The two teams were at the Independence Stadium to acquaint themselves with the conditions of the pitch. Babaka Senghor caught up with the coaches and sounded their opinion on tomorrow's game, and here is an excerpt.
We're talking to us about impression of the training.
Well, my girls are doing well. We have come here, because we understand that this is the pitch that we are going to play, yes. So we try to come and get the feel of the field.
What is the expectation for your team?
Well, everyone is expecting good, even both sides, but I mean, we are praying for the better.
You're going to play against the Gambian female team. Have you been doing any spine missions on the team to know exactly the side that you will be facing?
Well, we don't know much about them, but we are trying our best as far as we're concerned.
How long has this team been training together?
Well, first of all, I went round to the schools because they were having school competition. We went round and then try to select the best out of the rest, and we saw not only Western area but the provincials as well.
Are you hopeful that this team will go out there and win the game that will send them probably to the various stages to go to the World Cup?
One thing in life, you have to be optimistic, but I'm optimistic that we will make it to the next level.
What is the mood in the camp like?
Yeah, everything is going well so far. So, I mean, we make sure that the discipline measures are all in place. And everything is going well.
What are your expectations for this very important game against Sierra Leone?
I have a philosophy, and my philosophy is always to win. No matter what may be the case, we are going for the 3 points, inshallah.
On many goals?
Yeah, as many as we can score, but for sure, I know we will make a difference.
Have you seen the Sierra Leonean side? We saw them train here in the evening, and we feel they have a decent side and some good players as well. Have you seen anything about that team?
No, actually, when I was coming, that was the time they finished their training. So I can't say nothing about their team. But as I said, we are ready for tomorrow's games, and we will do our best. With the caliber of players we have, I know if they play according to what we taught them to do, honestly, things will really change.
Congratulations to, actually good luck. I said congratulations, so that means they're winning. Well, the coaches of the female Scorpions and the Sierra Leone female national team on tomorrow's World Cup qualification game. Time now to take a look at the weather report, courtesy of the Central Forecast Office. Well, we don't seem to have the weather report, and before we go, we'll do a recap of the headlines. President Jammeh has used his inaugural address to outline plans to further invest heavily in education before tens of thousands of people. An emissary dispatched to Banjul by the Rwandan president has been discussing means of deepening and bolstering relations between Kigali and Banjul with Professor Jammeh. Demand fueled by the Republic of Congo's football-mad population has sparked stiff competition between locally fabricated antennas and imported ones. And the Catholic Church in Senegal is urging calm ahead of the ruling on the legitimacy of President Abdoulaye Wade's third-term bid. You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. That's all in the news. Thank you very much for your time and have a very good weekend.